Hey everyone, so I just wanted to put a message out there for my past managers and present managers of Teleperformance, including Mohammed Shafi. They should report what the clients did to us, because people like me are suffering, and even past supervisors that I know left Teleperformance because of lack of accommodation, pain in the ears, are suffering. We deserve to be compensated. When BMO ended my contract, they had promised me a 2-year contract. They didn't fulfill it. They didn't give me any compensation. When TD had all this money laundering scam going on, they didn't give me any compensation. I have shares in the bank. Teleperformance should compensate me, because I got high blood pressure working there. My anxiety got worse. I have sores in my mouth now. The medication, part of the side effects of the medication is that you get swelling in your feet and you get coldness in the extremities from the medication. So I have to make sure that I keep my temperature in my apartment temperate. I drink lots of water. I'm healthy. I did my part. Thankfully, my doctor caught it in time. If I had waited another month, or if by God's grace I hadn't found my doctor in time, I could have died. Because normal people don't take their blood pressure at home. You don't know when you have high blood pressure. There's no signs. Aside from that nose bleeding that I had, which they refused to compensate me for. They said, oh, what were you doing? I said, you know what, whenever I go off the calls, I told Golfer, whenever I go off the calls, I inform my supervisor. She said, well, there's no record. I said, well, I don't know what happened. You asking me, this was when I was working there, before they let me go. You asking me about something that happened over a month ago. I can't remember. We put everything in the chat. We put everything, and then the supervisors track. And my supervisors told me there's no problem. If it was your nose bleeding, we'll pay you for everything. They only paid me for half of it. So all of us who got anxiety, who were not accommodated for our health, for our religion, we should all get compensation from the clients, including the clients that had me removed from the campaigns because they didn't like me laughing on the call. The whole floor was laughing. But because I was on that call, they took me off the call. And even when Mohammed fought for me and he tried to get them to be reasonable, they refused. So Teleperformance managers, no, don't go to HR. HR is not going to help you. Teleperformance managers should report all the clients. They should report what they're doing to us, and they should make sure that all of us get compensation, because it's not just affecting me. When I told them what they're doing is wrong, that they need to fix this, they refused. They took it to HR. What HR did when Mohammed reported it, they told me, don't report it anymore, because they're saying it's you that's saying it. And on top of that, Wasif apologized. He took responsibility because he knew it wasn't my fault. So I stopped reporting it. I couldn't report the masturbation. I couldn't report the swearing. I couldn't report the shouting. I couldn't report how my ears were getting affected. I couldn't report anything. I even gave them a doctor's note. In Canada, you don't have to give a note from the doctor. I've got the training. I'm an HR professional. You just have to tell them I need an accommodation. They wouldn't accommodate me. They put me on an overnight shift. So they should compensate us, because they got fined. What happened in America, it's American clients. It also happened to us here in Canada. I told them, your tests are discrimination. Some of those answers are so similar, you can't tell. And the reality is that in a job, it's situational. You give the response situationally to the customer. That's when you make the decision. Whether you pass or fail those tests is irrelevant, especially when it comes to sales. You have to hear the inflection in the customer's voice. You have to judge whether they are upset or whether they are joking. You can't make those decisions like that on a multiple choice questionnaire. And it's not fair for people like me who grew up in Africa and came here. and have master's degrees from here, and we've been loyal employees for you for over 5 years to do that to us. And you couldn't fix my ID, so you let me go. The jobs you had available, you knew I had a problem with the banks. I couldn't work on the banking campaigns. I couldn't do it. You knew that. So they should compensate me. They should compensate all the managers that got affected, because these clients are taking advantage of us. Many times the operations managers will fight for me, and they'll lose because they'll take it to HR, and instead of HR saying, you know what, look, this is what we can do, they'll say, no, we're laying you off temporarily. The last time, in all the 5 years that I have a campaign come to the end, they've never laid me off. This time I told our operations manager, Golfo, you have to keep me on the books and pay me till you find something else. She said, no, we're laying you off. I said to her, why? Then you don't value me. She said, we do. I said, no, you don't, because every other campaign I've been on, they've kept me on the books, they've paid me until they found me something else. She said, oh, well, we don't know when we're going to find something. I said, okay, then look for something where you can transfer me. Look for something else, because it's not fair to me, and you're losing my brain power, you're losing my knowledge. And I said, oh, when I come back, are you going to bring me in at the same compensation or better? Are you going to bring me in as a continuous employment? She said, no, we're going to bring you in as a new employee, and you might have to take minimum wage. I said, well, then how can you say that you value me? You don't. So that's what all the managers should do. Even Muhammad Shafi, he should report it so that we can get compensated. Because if Muhammad had been managing that operation center when I was there, he wouldn't have laid me off. And furthermore, Service Canada can't establish my claim. So I don't even have EI coming in. This whole thing could have been avoided. The clients are taking advantage of us left, right, and center. I'm not the only one that is suffering with my ears. They usually, when people suffer with ears like that, they put them into a supervisor role. Many of the managers left because they couldn't get accommodation and because we were being treated so awfully. You're sitting on the phone, you got that ping, ping coming in because you got 3 chats going, and you're supposed to remember which chat you dealt with last. Who wouldn't get confused? They want you to be like a robot. Now the robots are taking over the jobs. Let's see what's going to happen. We're not robots. If you give somebody 1 chat at a time, that's reasonable. 1 chat. 3 chats going, and then the bottom chat goes to the top, and then it goes, you reply, then that one goes to the top, then that one comes down. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Before we got 3 minutes between calls, 30 seconds between calls. We couldn't even adjust the volume at one stage. Then afterwards, Mohammed got us headsets where you could adjust the volume. It's not right. It's not right what the big companies are doing, and I'm being taken advantage of. People like me, who work hard, who do right by Canada, who do right by the companies, we're being taken advantage of. Because if you try to sue them, if you try to do anything, they turn around and say it's you, and they take you to the police station. It's not right. And Muhammad fought for me. That's why I know he'll do it. They should report them, and they should get compensation for all of us who lost our health. My health was already bad because I had a low anxiety. Now, on top of that, because of the way I got treated, I got high blood pressure. And now nobody can turn around and say it's you, because if it was me, they wouldn't have fined them. They wouldn't have fined them in America, and they wouldn't have formed unions in Europe. So nobody better damn well say it's me. It's not me. Good. I'm glad you got caught, Teleperformance, and I hope Canada gets caught too. You can't fix my ID, so you can't even create a new ID. Even if it had taken a month, I'm sitting at home for over a year now. In that year, you could have created a new ID for me, but you refused to do it, right? Because you wanted to hold the power and you wanted to be right. Good. I'm glad you got fined. This is God's justice. You didn't want me to report it? I hope everybody else reports it, because I'm not the one that's damn delusional here. I'm not. It's this fucking society.